Yeah, recording is on. So let us see variables and data types. Can you please tell me what do you mean by variables? Can you please tell me what is a variable? Day 31. So let me revise once what we have seen yesterday. How to run the program, how program gets executed in the browser in this way, and how we would be running by means of the Node.js. So we have discussed what do you mean by Node.js. We have discussed different runtimes, and Node.js is one of the runtime. So hence from today till we complete or till we start DOM manipulation, I won't be writing code in HTML and this I won't be creating CSS file, HTML file. But I was just simply creating, you can say, app01.js. I would be creating JS file itself, right? And at the DOM manipulation, because yesterday we have seen language is language, JavaScript is JavaScript. No matter where you write it in browser or you write it for Node.js. JS is JS. That's why we will learn the programming language by means of this. So our today's topic here, variables and data types. Now can you tell me what do you mean by variables? What do you mean by variables? Variables is the way to store data value. Okay. Anyone else want to answer the question? Variable. Okay. Now in the JavaScript, we can define variable by means of var keyword. Var. Here we can say var and number num1 is equals to 10. What is the meaning of this line? If you see, JavaScript variables are used to store the data values. These values can be numbers, strings, objects, functions, and more. Variables allow you to manipulate and work with the data in your JavaScript program. So this is var num1 is equals to 10. So what we have done exactly over here? What we have done exactly over here? Where is board, whiteboard? So here we have, this is the whiteboard. And now what? So you created something where num1 is equals to 10. So what you have done exactly in the memory, so this is a whole big memory you can consider. So in memory, you have allocated one block and you named this block as what? Hello? You named that block as variable. Am I audible to all? We have named that thing to variable. This is what variable is. So we have some block, and to that block you have given the name as num1. What name you have given? Num1. And value of num1 you have stored over here presently as what? 10. This is what the variable. Value gets changed, variable this value is variable, which means that you can assign num1 is equals to 20. So this inside memory, what it would be, 20 would be there. So here where num1 is equals to 10, num1 is equals to 10. Similarly, you can define another variable num2. Num2 is equals to 20. And here I can say num2 is equals to 30. Correct? So if I print now console.log value of num2, console.log is used. We are going to discuss what do you mean by this console in the object classes and objects thing. So when you talk about the console, it is that object which would be used for printing on the console. Now what we need to do here, what we need to do over here, you need to press Control and below the escape there is a one button. There is a below escape there is one button called as tilde. So below the escape there is one button called as tilde. Now Control and below the escape there is one button called as tilde. Can you see? Integrated terminal in the VS Code will open. This terminal inside this folder. Which folder? This MERN stack folder will open. This MERN stack folder. Can you see MERN stack, whatever number is? Now we need to go to which thing? CD day 31. CD day 31. Right? Now we are in a day 31. Are you getting this? Hello? Is it clear to all? Opening integrated terminal. Opening what? Integrated terminal. Control and below the escape there is one button called as tilde on the Mac and every system. Below the escape there is one button called as tilde. Hello? Please respond. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now you need to run the program node and name of the file app01.js. app01.js node app01.js and hit the enter. Now what will happen? Okay, we are in a day 31. num2 is getting printed as 30. Num2 is getting printed as 30. Let's print num1 also. Console.log num1. And can you see here it is 20. This is 20. And this is what? 30. Is it clear? I'm explaining a lot of times because very first time you are interacting with the system. Hello?
Yes.
num1. Correct. So it is just showing you what's happening over here. So you are saying that I want to print value of num1, it's 20. I want to print value of num2, it's 30. And that is happening correctly. Okay. What do you mean by variables? variable takes some space in the memory. Consider that this is a whole big memory and this is your variable num1 takes some space in the memory. Why you need variables? You need variables in a program for program to use them in some features, or you can say you need variables in your program to make some operations. Let's take a simple example. I want to make an addition of two numbers. I can say result is equals to num1 plus num2. So you have num1 as 20, you have num2 as 30. So one phenomenon you need to see over here. One phenomenon you need to see over here. In the beginning, value of num1 is 10. But here you reassign value as 20. Here also you have reassign value as 30. So in the beginning, what was the value? 20. So when your variable gets created, at that time value is 10, and after some time, program changes the value as 20. Is it clear? Hello? So name itself is suggesting value is not fixed. It is a variable that can change at any point in time. And that's why you need something called as variable, because presently value is 10, but at the time of next execution it might be 20, right? Well, I have forgot to tell you one thing. So here terminal you have opened inside, this terminal inside VS Code. So this terminal is called as integrated terminal. What it is called as? Hello? Integrated terminal. What is that? Integrated terminal. So how do you open integrated terminal? Control, and below the escape there is one button called as tilde. Below the escape there is a button called as tilde. Escape button everyone knows. Below the escape there is one button called as tilde. So control and tilde. So integrated terminal will pop up. Similarly, you can use external terminal also. Let me explain you about the external terminal and then we'll talk about next thing. So external terminal, this is. So here you need to navigate to particular folder, CD, desktop. My folder is on the desktop, so I can say CD desktop, CD, MERN, this is our folder, okay, and then CD day 31, right? And similarly you can say node app01.js, same output you will get 2030. Remember that same terminal is opening over here, but just for ease of working, VS Code has given in an integrated fashion. So you can see code over here, you can see output immediately over here. Otherwise you need to change the screens like this again and again if you want to have a separate terminal, but choice is yours. You can use a separate terminal or you can use integrated terminal. Choice is all yours. You decide what to do, right? But sometimes I would be using external and sometimes I would be using integrated. Okay, fine. So where num1, where num2, and result, let's try to print the result. Console.log num1 plus num2, and if you print it, Now if you run the program, can you see 50? So here 20 is this. So you can do something like this also, console.log and see single quotes or double quotes. You can write anything, single quotes, and you can say value of num1, and here you can say again a value of num2, and here you can say addition is addition is so let's clear it and see here. Can you see value of num1 20, value of num2 30, and addition is what? 50. So I'm pushing this much code, right? JavaScript variables 01. Go through the code and ask me questions if you have any. Go through the code and you can ask me questions if you have any.
And we will be learning different types of
Variables. We would be learning different types of variables, correct?
Yeah.
But as far as variable declaration is concerned, this code you need to remember. So guys, what I'm saying, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. This is the right time to get your queries clarified, because you are going to work with the JS throughout your life. If you are a full stack developer, MERN stack engineer, you would be using JS throughout the life. So if you get any queries, please do ask me at that time only. Okay. Your silence, I take it as no questions, and I'll move ahead. 02.js. Okay. Now, where we can say num is equals to 10 or 12, whatever. Similarly, we can have where true and false values is okay. Remember that this is a variable name. This can be anything. This can be anything. Absolutely fine. But there should be some common sense. So this name is not that readable. This name is also not that readable. So it doesn't make any sense to the other programmers or maintainers of the code. So you should have some proper names. Here I can say is okay. False or what? True. This can be either false or this can be either true. Am I audible? This is what Boolean. So I will write comment. This is the numeric type. This is what Boolean type. I don't write type. Just write numeric Boolean. Now here I can say name or say nm is equals to a single quote, and I can say atomic habits. Atomic what? Habits. One book name. Var nm. Atomic habits. Now what is this? Can you please tell me? Okay. Anyone else? One answer I got. I need some string. What do you mean by string? So people, please answer what do you mean by string?
Strings are words.
Okay. Strings are words, correct? So, sequence of the characters written in a line is called a string. But there are few things you need to remember. It should be, let me write the type first and then we will discuss. So here you can say string, nm, and here we can say mech or ISBN, some like this, some number like this. So either strings are written in single quotes or strings are written in a double quotes. Meaning of the string is same. Sequence of the characters written consecutively. Sequence of the characters which are written consecutively is nothing but what string is. Strings are either written in single quote or written in double quote. Correct? Now, so this is numeric type Boolean. So in the numeric type, you can say var salary 23.53 decimal. Still it is numeric. Can you see decimal types are also available? Boolean type, true or false. Here it can be true also, no problem. Atomic habits, double quote string. There is no difference between these two. They work in the same fashion. Okay. So there is one more phenomena we'll discuss shortly. Where num1 salary is okay, nm, like this. Now, where dt or dob is equals to new date. So this is something different. So here you can say type of, so here value is of numeric type, value is of numeric type, value is of Boolean type, value is of string type. So here you can say value is of object type. Value is of what? Object type. This is also one thing you need to remember. Or let's take this first. Let me remove this and we'll see this in a separate file. So we can write console.log first, numeric type, and then again console.log num, we can say. So here we have numeric type decimal, or let's write decimal over here. Console.log sal. Okay. So here I can say Boolean type, and console.log is okay. So here console.log string type, and here I can say again console.log nm. string type, and again here we can say console.log ISBN. Let's clear the console. Node app02.js, and can you see numeric type 12, decimal numeric type 23, and you can see the output in that way. Okay, so console.log numeric type, decimal numeric type, boolean type, string type. So these are the basic types of JavaScript. These are what? Hello? Basic types. Any question on this? Let me push this much thing. JavaScript. Basic types, variables, and data types, or variables and data types 02. Any questions on this? Okay, now let's create app03.js. app03.js. Now what app03.js will have? It will have few more advanced types where dob is equals to new date. So we are going to see in detail what do you mean by this new date. Batch from people from the morning batch. There are how many ways of creating objects? Can you please answer this? Correct. So we are going to see that again. So in future lectures, we have a separate dedicated session. But just as an intro, this is of type what? Object. Where dob new date. What is the type of this? Hello, all of you, please respond. Object. What is this type? Object. One way of creating object is in this way. Another I can say where obj. Now see, curly brackets. Curly brackets. Curly brackets also define the object. So inside a curly bracket, you need to write key and values. Inside the curly bracket, what you need to write? Key and values. So here I can say nm. Now is of type value. Name is abc. Make mk or make 1. Model, car information we are storing. Model, we can say M11. So this type is called as again object. So this is one object, and this is also another object. It's an object only because it has bracket or curly braces. It's an object only. Okay. So you mean to say this is an object because it is having this line, correct? Or it is having the curly braces. So whenever you say it is an object, you need to consider this whole thing. It is an object because new and the something like this. There is a new keyword. And there is a date. What is date? We will see. There is a new keyword, and there is something called as date. Date is, what do you mean by date? We'll see in the future lectures. Don't worry about this right now. But because of this new plus something, this would be treated as an object. And here, if you see, you are writing data into the curly braces. You're writing data into what? Curly braces. In the form of keys and values. This thing is called as key. These values can be anything, 1, 2, 3. Then is electric, is EV. True, this is the EV. This is the EV, electric vehicle. True. Any question on this object, OBJ? Hello?
One question. In previous files, we did not use any semicolon or comma. We are using that. So is it necessary?
Say that again.
To use comma, is it necessary?
Yeah, this is necessary. So technically, this line would be considered as one line only. It is one liner only. But for interpreter, it's a one liner. You can say A1, A is a key, B2, right? C3. It's a one liner only. But for our interpretation, we are writing it, we are hitting enter after every comma. Right? We are hitting enter after every comma. Correct? It is like this only. But this is for our understanding. But whenever you are submit this code to the Node.js, Node.js will say, boss, I don't consider this as a separate line. It would be like this only for me. Now, if you want to print this, I can say console.log date is and we can say dob. So here we can say object1 is console.log obj1 and here console.log object2 is, and here you can say obj2. Let's run the program, clear the console. Node app03.js. Can you see date is this, object1 is this much, object2 is this much. Let me push this code. JavaScript variables. So let's make a short form of variables and data types, V and D. And then we have covered object type. V and D means variables and data types. So here, let's give that label immediately. V and D. Callouts. Refer V and D in commit messages. Refer V and D in commit messages. V and D is equals to variables and data types. Okay, whenever you see this V and D in the commit message, you need to consider that it's a variables and data types. Okay, fine. So I have pushed this code. Now I want you to type this code now. Whatever code I have typed from last half an hour, you need to type code immediately and you need to ask me the questions. Are you prepared for this? Yeah, then start typing the code. Start typing the code. You may share your screen. All three people can share their screen simultaneously, no problem. Hello? You guys are typing this code, right? Your voice is not clear, team.
Yes.
I'm under the impression that you are typing the code. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. I'm stopping the recording.